A Giants podcast for Giants fans
By Giants fans.
from the offseason through the wins and the losses. It's time to take one Giant step.
Welcome into One Giant Step. Only 5 more preview episodes to go in this godforsaken season.
Where does the time go, man?
Where does the time go? It's football season. It's Thanksgiving weekend already. Okay. Thanksgiving weekend Giant games always give me memories, especially when they're not on Thanksgiving. 2016, I took the trip to Cleveland with a couple of my friends. Giants beat the Browns that year. Thanksgiving weekend was awesome. I remember specifically being stuck in traffic for about 14 hours on the way home from MetLife after Derek Hagan started a game for the Giants at wide receiver versus the Jaguars. Bad week to go on a Sunday. Thanksgiving week, if the Giants are ever home on a Sunday, that's a rough travel home on that weekend. Some peculiar weekend. But anyway, Giants play Monday Night Football on Thanksgiving weekend. Bryce Gelman. Monday Night Football is a weird one because you start the football all day on a Thursday, 3 games. Black Friday's got a game. Then you get through, if you like college Friday, Saturday, Sunday football.
It's a long-ass weekend of football.
Yeah, to get the Monday night, you're like, oh. So I don't remember the Giants ever playing the Monday night game Thanksgiving weekend. Maybe they have, and I'm forgetting. But it feels like we're going to be exhausted by the time we get there. But nonetheless, Drake May versus Jaxson Dart and a very, very odd week. Now, Bryce, before we talk about the defensive coordinator situation, Shane Bowen fired, Charlie Bullen getting promoted up here. Jaxson Dart seems to be coming back. That's part of the week that was here in Giant Land. Jaxson Dart is now advanced in the concussion protocol. Giants seemingly held him back after we recorded last week's preview pod. We got the Jameis Winston game, but it feels certainly, I'd be shocked now if we do a whole podcast about Jaxson Dart playing and he doesn't. Certainly feels to be trending that way. I got to be honest, as it sits here today, I'm finding little small things to be excited about. I'm excited about watching Drake May versus Jaxson Dart on Monday night. Where are you at here?
We talked about this at the start of the season. Remember this? We thought there was a chance that Russell Wilson was going to play the first 12 games of the season.
That this could be Jaxson Dart's debut.
First game.
Good call.
And look what we have right here. Jaxson Dart has already played, 7 games, I want to say, at this point? I think 7 games at this point. So now we have a season, you could say, Jaxson Dart against Drake May, who has been objectively the second best quarterback in the league this year next to Matt Stafford. But I look at this situation, I look at this game, and I'm excited. I don't care that this team is 2-10. I don't care at this point. I'm past it. I'm past the record talk, and we could sit here all day and talk about how bad the team has been, the record, the defensive coordinator just got fired, the head coach has never seen any tweets in his life. So we could get to all this different stuff, but man, I'm excited. This is a good matchup between 2 quarterbacks, a long weekend of football, and the culmination of what, Shaun, I think is like the best weekend of the regular season. You get all the football. I hate the fact that there's a Black Friday game. I'm sorry, dude. I hate that. I can't stand it. Like Thursday, Sunday, Monday should be enough. But now we've got games on Friday. We got games on Christmas. We got games every freaking day of the week. I'm excited, dude. Like that's all I got on on that. We'll obviously get to the game preview, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And I need to re-register and rewire everybody's brain as much as this year has sucked and all the blown leads suck. And it feels, first of all, I appreciate it if you're still here with us, right? A lot of it's very easy for a fan to check out and go, I'm tired of hearing about the team. So
and happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to you too as well, Shaun.
Yeah. Happy knock over everybody on Black Friday day for TV day too. But what I need to rewire everybody's brain about is I remember, and Bryce was obviously far too young, the rookie year of Eli Manning and those knocking on the door moments. The Giants had a lot of tough losses, and the culmination at the end of the year, that last week of the year, beating the Dallas Cowboys, it really set everything up for Eli Manning's second year, in which the Giants went and kind of surprisingly won a division where nobody thought that was going to happen in 2005. And I'm not telling you the Giants are next year, but the point was the reason you watch at the end of the year was the progression of Eli Manning. At the end of 2019, we were excited about Daniel Jones too. Obviously, we hope that Jaxson Dart doesn't go that way outside of the fumbles. You were watching those games, and when he got hurt and Eli kind of said that goodbye to Miami, and then Jones came back at the end of the year, that famous Andrew Thomas Chase Young Bowl where they beat Washington. Those were fun games in lost years because you were watching a rookie quarterback. We have now hit, especially with 2 weeks gone of Jaxson Dart and now reloading for these final 5 games of the year with a bye week thrown in, we have hit that, hey, be excited to watch Jaxson Dart play football. Be excited to watch Jaxson Dart get to go duel with a guy that maybe he plays some big games against down the line. We can only dream of in Giants-Patriots with Drake May. I do think the stage is at least set for that. Yes, it sucks that this team sucks. Yes, it sucks that they've blown leads, but that's the reason to keep watching Giant football. So we get Jaxson Dart back and appreciate that.
Who would have thought at this point of the season at 2-10, we'd be excited to watch football from this team?
Yeah, well, but I'll give the Giants this. I don't think that they're nearly as talented as they think they're. Now, they have more talent than I think the negative people would suggest they have. They have a long way to go still in building the roster, and they shouldn't 4 years in. But if I could block that all out, the games are, this isn't like a slag nut year where they're losing games 30-10. You're like, oh, God, here we go again.
That's what we've been saying. Like close games, interesting games.
It does make the games interesting because, even last week, I thought the rope was going to be let go going in, and I was wrong. So it's rejuvenated me a little bit. Now, as far as the week that was here with the Giants, they did fire Shane Bowen, where Bryce and I left you. I thought that they would not. I thought that now that the time had come 2 weeks after, I thought maybe we'd re-examine it in the bye week. I didn't think they'd do it Thanksgiving week, but they did, and I give them credit for it. And Bryce, you have been all over the idea of you got to do it. And I've been all over the idea of, well, what does that really change?
It wasn't going to happen until they blew another game.
Yeah, blew another game.
Kafka was left no choice.
Here's where what I didn't see coming, Bryce, which I think is very important to note. Why I thought it would not make a difference is the idea of, with 5 weeks left in the season, not much is going to change schematically. You have two guys with defensive coordinator experience and Andre Patterson and Marquand Manuel. They didn't go to either of those guys, which I thought was a layup. One of those guys was getting the job. Instead, they go to outside linebackers coach Charlie Bullen. Young guy who's worked his way up.
He's older than Shane Bowen. Older than Shane Bowen.
I know, but it's funny because
he's like 2 years older than Shane Bowen. It's crazy.
A young guy that's trying to earn a job. But this is what I found fascinating about it. I had to go, who the hell's Charlie Bullen? It's not like I was familiar who the outside linebackers coach was. It gives me hope, Bryce. It gives me hope that I didn't see coming. Where if you're making the conscious decision if Mike Kafka is making this call, you didn't go to the two veteran guys that have been defensive coordinators in the past. You go to a complete wild card, younger guy, outside linebackers coach, who coaches, by the way, the two guys on this defense you want to see more of the rest of the year. Brian Burns, who's trying to chase down Myles Garrett.
What's been the best unit?
The outside linebackers.
He deserved it.
And maybe that's also he has the opportunity to kind of look at the defense as a whole because his players are already good enough and kind of keep your eye on the ball on both. And also, he's probably, I would argue, outside of Jaxson Dart, the last 5 weeks of the year, the other most important thing is seeing the most out of Abdul Carter. Well, what coach that gets promoted to defensive coordinator is going to be able to find the most out of Abdul Carter than the guy that's been coaching him in the position meetings? So maybe, and this is, again, the other hopefulness, maybe the Giants actually send more blitz looks. Clearly the defense, and Javon Holland had made some comments being put out of position. Maybe a guy who coaches outside linebackers where you bring your energy, maybe he's going to mix up blitz packages and you're not just sending the same old 4 or 5 guys. Maybe there's going to be some stunts involved. I could be completely baseless and set myself up for disappointment. I'm certainly not expecting the defense suddenly to become this elite unit, but I do think that this move going to a guy I didn't see coming gives me hope that the defense has the opportunity, at least in terms of certain play design and play call, look different than it has this year, Bryce.
Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee that things are going to magically going to change. He had 1 week. How many? I mean, right. I guess, okay, so he had Tuesday, Wednesday. They have off today, tomorrow, and then Saturday. He got 5 days to switch things up completely. I don't see much changing, especially because he's a Shane Bowen guy. He's from the Shane Bowen coaching tree, which I don't think is the best look.
Brett Bielema too.
Yeah, I don't know how things are going to change that much, but yeah, I'm excited to see what could potentially happen here. And yeah, he deserved it. When it came down to it, he deserved the job. What have we seen from Kayvon Thibodeau this year? Kayvon Thibodeau has been a lot better of a player. He's completely coming to his own now. At the start of the year, I was fervent on not re-signing him, and now I've kind of come over to your side here that I think he deserves to be paid. And who can you thank for that? I don't know. I'm just like at this point, dude. I just want to get to the game. I want to get to Monday night. I want to see after 12 pathetic, putrid weeks of the Giants defense, if anything can change. It has been this rough trudge through each one of these games and tough watch after tough watch after tough watch, where the Giants have a chance in each one of these games and they blow it because of their incompetence on the defensive side. Are things going to change quickly? Probably not. Could things change though? the prospect of things changing is very intriguing, Shaun. That's it. That's all we have right now. It's been 5 days. Are things going to change that much? No, they can't. What are you smirking about?
I'm just laughing. What can we expect to change? This is where we're
5
at.
days, dude. Like, what are they going to do? Completely switch the scheme up?
I do
Hey, let's
also
not be idiots anymore.
You also saying, what am I laughing at? This is just a quick aside as we preview this game. We're going to get to our segments in a little bit. Bryce Gelman home for the Thanksgiving holidays. I'm getting a look at what I'm assuming is his childhood bedroom here. And instead of getting like the Deontay Banks jersey hanging, we got like the old Huffy basketball hoop, the random Knicks stuff in the back. A look inside Bryce's little childhood home. What
we got, you see that's nice. The Boeheim, Carmelo Anthony, dual signing. Thank you, my grandpa. It was very nice.
Why do you not bring any of this stuff to your current home in the city?
I don't have space. You see my setup there. You know, I got the jersey. I got the Knicks. I love the Knicks thing. I love the MSG thing. It's from the Mario Hezonja game. If you know, you know. If you know, and I had no idea. It was this thing on Etsy, and I was looking at it closely. I'm like, wait, that's the Mario Hezonja game where you block LeBron.
Boy, we may need to get Etsy in here as a sponsor. Bryce,
I also got some like chains from Etsy. I got to go return those. I'm an avid supporter of Etsy. No, I like the setup here. It's nice. You know,
I like it. It's very classy. I'm laughing because it dawned on me. I'm like, oh yeah, Bryce is home. What's going on?
I got the sound machine going outside because I don't want anyone to hear me. The walls are incredibly thin. I got to worry about that now. Everyone's going to tell me to shut up, but I got the podcast. You know what I mean?
Don't worry about it, Bryce. We're we're not going to bore everybody more with the details. Okay, so on top of that, Kayvon's still banged up. At the time we're taping this on Thanksgiving. Hard hat guys. You could tell the beat reporters are less on things on Thursday. I'm checking everything as the Giants were practicing Thanksgiving morning. I've seen no other reports on guys like Kayvon, guys like Dexter Lawrence, who now the elbow seems to be barking, and I'm sure we could have more of a conversation about him during the bye week. And that's also something I want to preview too. We're going to have a recap episode after this Giant-Patriot game. Then the bye week's going to hit. I think the bye week, we're obviously going to have to react to what Joe Schoen said. Like just a little, if you want to download, subscribe to One Giant Step. We expect Joe Schoen to speak. And I do think the bye week will give us time in the podcast to kind of think ahead to some of the future of some of these Giant players. You just teased Kayvon a little while ago. I've thought long and hard about Dexter Lawrence and some of the free agents. So again, download, subscribe to One Giant Step. Our content might even be better in the bye week because we don't have to recap a game or talk about it. But with that, Bryce, little Thanksgiving treat to everybody. Let's just get into fantasy versus reality. We broke down the week that was. Whatever. The team.
Wait. One more thing. We were not going to address Kafka's comments about the tweet.
About the Trump tweet?
No. The Nabers tweet.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Malik Nabers obviously
we got to talk about this.
Okay, real quickly. Good call, Bryce.
Yeah.
Malik Nabers deleted that tweet because somebody from the Giants called him because what Malik Nabers said, in I think an innocent matter, while I think he was pissed, was that the Giants could be throwing a game. Okay. And with the state of gambling in America and with the big controversy swirling around the NBA and their players and like props being tanked, you cannot have a star player on a football team
not the best luck.
Start a tweet with, sometimes I be thinking they make us lose on purpose. It's like the
Aisha Curry tweet.
Right. And like we've all been there, right? I know what Malik Nabers is saying. He's saying it innocuously. Like it's so bad. It feels like you're trying to make us lose on purpose, but you can't say that because when that becomes a headline. So now Mike Kafka gets asked about this and Mike Kafka very quickly says, I didn't see the tweet, but yet before the next question is answered, he full thrown has a diatribe about how he thinks it's great that players can express themselves on Twitter and like he has an answer after saying he didn't see the tweet.
You know where this playbook is from, right?
Well, it's from what the Giants orchestrate
here. No, this is from every politician who's ever asked about anything bad.
Right.
Not to say that I got to bring things up. It's both sides. Anytime they're asked about some stupid shit, like what do you think of like your idiot colleague saying some stupid? I didn't see it. What are they going to say? Yeah, you did. It's so easy. Just like it's so easy to be like, nah, I didn't see it. You just don't have to dress it. And Kafka was smart. I respect it. Like I respect it. I don't like. What do you want him to say? You want him to address it? What else is there to be said about it? Anything he says could be taken out of it could be misconstrued or taken out of context and turned around into some soundbite or some BS. And like he's smart enough to know. Just I didn't see it. That's it. Move on.
My point was he had an answer, meaning he saw it. Like, you know what I mean?
He didn't see it. He said he didn't see it. He didn't see it. You know,
the Giants didn't prep him that he'd be asked about it, but he
Yeah.
also had to say this. Now, I actually agree with your politician point. He had to say this because the moment he says he saw it and admits to actually seeing it, the follow-up then becomes about throwing football games. And
the floodgates open up.
Exactly. And the Giants have to nip that in the bud. The same reason they had Nabers delete the tweet. They have to nip that in the bud because then anybody who's not paying attention to the Giants from the outside in is so like the moment you get a headline that goes head coach admits he's not throwing games, then it becomes a bigger deal outside the Giants building and a bigger deal the NFL doesn't want to deal with. So Mike Kafka had to address that the way he did. I don't fault him for it. I don't even fault Malik Nabers for just spouting off a tweet on the couch. Like he's clearly frustrated and he wants to be out there. I just found, again, the funniest part of the whole thing, and I think I said this last week on the pod, was Malik Nabers is the first one yelling at the sideline. They need to go for it if he's in the game. And he's home from the couch, and that's the problem with them going for it, which is just funny.
I mean, dude, watching a team blow 5 fourth-quarter leads by double digits.
Yeah.
I understand why the star players thinking the same thing. Just shut up. Like, don't say it. They handled it right, though. After he said he's a star player, he's going to put it out there. He deleted it. The coach never saw it. So let's move on.
Okay, now we'll get the fantasy versus reality. And we can't pick Malik Nabers for this because, again, he's not playing. I've been fascinated by the X's and O's of this game, Bryce. This is a Patriot team that's missing now their entire left side of the offensive line. Will Campbell on IR, left guard out as well. Lost a defensive tackle to injuries as well. They're sneakily getting beat up, and they've kind of were very lucky a week ago versus the Bengals. So, look, fantasy-wise in this game, Jaxson Dart's back. Okay, so now I need to take away what we've seen the last 2 weeks of Jameis and focus on what Jaxson Dart was kind of doing well. I'm holding off on the running backs in this spot, Bryce. I know the Giants are going to try to establish the run here with Tracy and Singletary, and they did a much better job of that than I thought they were going to do with Jameis. And obviously the golden question is going to be how much does Jaxson Dart run, right? So I think that they are going to try to establish more of the run game to take that off Jaxson Dart's hands. But also, I think the Patriots are just lining up, and their run defense has been very good all year to begin with. Although Chase Brown, had some moments
went
off. So I'm going to old reliable at the passing game. How about the red hot Theo Johnson? 3 straight weeks without a drop.
God damn it!
And Jaxson Dart, look, that's a guy that Jaxson Dart loves going to. Safety got to get it in there. I think Theo Johnson's good for 5-6 catches in this game and a touchdown. I think it's going to be a big Theo game.
Yeah, I agree. He's gotten a lot better. He hasn't had any drops in 2 weeks now in a row, and he's looked better and better. Like I love what I'm seeing from him. He's turning into exactly what we thought he could be last year. He's got the intangibles. He's got the size. Now he's showing the hands.
Yeah,
I like him. I don't know. Dart comes back. He loves the safety valve. Like that's always the tight end. Dart is, he's just looking for the guy he trusts. And I'm sure he's been watching what we've all been seeing. That's Theo Johnson's catching the ball now. So that's exactly my pick, and it sucks, but whatever. I'm not switching it up. That's my guy.
All right. Reality of the game. Reality of the game is Charlie Bullen's first game here. Run defense be damned. I want to see some mixed pass rush packages. Okay, even if Kayvon's not in. If that means sending a nickel corner, if that means sending a safety, some stunt stuff involved. I want to take advantage of the Patriots' vulnerability on the left side of the line. That is very vulnerable right now. And the Patriots are probably going to try to keep an extra man in. They're going to, I'm sure, try to run the hell out of the ball to try to keep that pass rush at bay. But I think the Giants need to rattle Drake May and just absolutely take care of what should be a weakness, that left side of the line. I think if they do that, sure, the Patriots, like every other team, will have their ground game, but I think Jaxson Dart will move the ball enough to make sure this game is close. And what the swing this game is, an extra possession or two is completely killed by a big sack and actually getting home instead of just winning on pressure rate, maybe a strip sack fumble. I think this has to be the game when the opportunities arise because of what's happened on that offensive line and because of the change at defensive coordinator, where the Giants actually don't just get by and going, well, look at the pressure numbers. They actually close on sacks when given the opportunity. And I think killing an extra drive or two on the Pats could be the difference in a game like this to have a chance to win it, because I think I've graduated to the point where I expect the Giants offense just to be able to move the ball and score. They did it with Jameis. They've done it with Dart. This is not the Giant offense of a year ago, 2 years ago. They find ways to put the ball in the end zone and continue to score. So I think, to me, it's all about just how different the pass rush is and actually getting home and finishing. And if they do that, I think the reality is the Giants can find a way to win this game. Bryce, to you.
Death taxes the Giants need to win by getting to the quarterback. Said it every week. It's literally the same reality every single week. It's what we looked at this season as to being the reason why, or the way the Giants win every game. Here's the thing about the Patriots, Shaun. They get to, the opposing teams get to Drake May a lot. You got Jared Wilson, the left guard out. You got Will Campbell, the left tackle out. As you said, the entire left side of the Patriots offensive line. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. You can't stifle Drake May in all these games. I think he's gotten sacked 4 more times in 6 games this season. Shaun, he's over 70% completion rate in 5 to 6 games. He's picking apart defenses that have been getting to him. That's the thing. When you look at Jared Goff last week, Jared Goff sees ghosts. If he sees ghosts, he's just, he doesn't find his footing. He's airbailing all these passes. Everything changes for the Lions offense when it comes to, a guy like Jared Goff, a pocket pass. Drake May is not that. He's one of the most talented guys in the league. Thanks, Tommy DeVito, whatever happened there. Drake May is someone that can pick you apart no matter what. You get to him, you fit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. By the way, the Giants only have, in the 12 games they played, they only have 4 sacks once. Which I think it's just hilarious. I looked that up. I'm like, what? How's that possible? If the Giants flip that trend, there's no guarantee they win the game. But they're going to have to get to the quarterback. So they need takeaways. They need takeaways. Finally got an interception last week. Like, the excuses have run out for the Giants not making big plays. They've made a couple of plays early on in the season. I was at that Chargers game. The Dexter Lawrence, rumbled down to the end zone, didn't score. Those plays are few and far between. Like, we need more of those. If the Giants want to pull off this upset against a team that's 10-2, who has a lot of Mickey Mouse wins, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Game-changing plays. That's how they win the game. That's it. Sacks, interceptions, fumbles. You just got to make big plays. I think on offense, Jaxson Dart's going to roll. Like, I just have no doubts in my mind. He's going to get out there. He's ready to play. He's missed 2 weeks now. The guy's hungry. Doesn't matter what the record is. No matter what's happening with the team. This is a huge prove-it spot for a rookie quarterback. On Monday Night Football, a long weekend of football, against the team with the best record in the NFL. The first team to 10 wins, Shaun. It's a great opportunity for a rookie quarterback to prove himself, but it's more important that the defense shows up and actually closes. I don't know what's happening with Dexter Lawrence. I assume he's not going to play in this game because of the elbow. I know. I saw your tweet about it. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to not be on his ass about all this kind of stuff. It's the same thing that happened last year. It feels like he's giving up on the team again. The other guy's going to have to step up. Darius Alexander had 2 sacks last week. I'd love to see that again. Let's keep incremental improvements every week. That's all. That's all. All right, let's do Bryce Is Right.
Let's go.
I hit it last week. I said that the Lions running backs were going to combine for over 200 all-purpose yards. Gibbs does it by himself. It's 250 by himself. I think over that. Montgomery didn't really do much in that game, but you saw that. Finally hit one. I had more obscure one this week, and that's the idea that the Giants are going to get to Drake May 4 more times. They're going to sack him 4 more times. Yeah, Drake May is still going to throw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, it's not going to impact the game, but the Giants finally get home. Abdul Carter maybe gets his first sack. Darius Alexander gets another one. The Giants' defensive line is going to feast in this game, but you're just going to see it. Drake May is just not fazed by this kind of stuff. The Giants' secondary is going to get picked apart by Drake May, even though the Giants are sending 4 men and getting to the quarterback. Like, that's what we ultimately need to see. It's going to happen, but Drake May is still going to, piece the Giants' defense. And I'll get to the game pick, but I brought this up. I just said this a couple of minutes ago, that looking back at all these games, the 6 games in which Drake May has gotten sacked 4 more times, the completion percentage is still high.
Yeah.
Also, he's the number 1 completion percentage in the NFL at 70+%. And again, he's gotten sacked 4 more times in 6 games.
Yep.
That's almost unheard of. Like, he's great in the face of pressure. The Giants are going to bring the pressure. They're going to blitz a lot. They have a lot to prove here with Charlie Bullen as a defensive coordinator. Like, you have to make big plays. You've got no choice. And if you get exposed in the secondary and Drake May makes a few plays down the field to Diggs, to Mario Doug, like, it doesn't matter. Let them have the chunk plays, but get to the quarterback. And I think they will, but Drake May's still going to find ways to beat them. That's it. 300+ yards, 2 touchdowns, but the Giants get to the quarterback 4 times or more. That's it. Let's get into game quick. I hit it last week.
Bryce is right. I love it. Okay.
Let's continue the trend.
All right. Actually, I'm so stupid. I just opened up my app to go find the spread and where it's currently at.
7.5, I believe.
It's 7.5, and then in the meantime, I placed a Lions Chiefs parlay. Okay. 7.5. Juice to the Giants. I'm taking the Giants to cover in the game, Bryce.
Wait, you're 5-7. I'm 3-9. This is a really pathetic season for me.
I'm taking the Giants.
My teams.
I'm taking the Giants to cover in the game. I think that the defense, I think you're going to see the players a little energized not to have Shane Bowen out there. I think they were getting tired of the same stuff.
Yep.
Drake May scares the hell out of me. This is just what I feel is coming because this is a standalone game and it's not being played on a Sunday. To me, I think that Tuesday morning you wake up and you pick any talk show that's a sports talk show in America. I think that you're going to get a fun duel between Dart and May, where the story becomes, hey, is this the future, sort of like the future in good hands at the quarterback position in football? Like I could just see that kind of being the talking point storyline, which tells me the game's going to be close, and I'm going to take the Giants to cover. Now, what do I think is actually going to happen game-wise? I think Giants are due for some luck here, Bryce, in this turn. I think they're going to touch the ball last with a minute left in this game, in a tight game. And I think Jaxson Dart is going to kind of have one of those moments where we as foolish fans are going to do this. Jaxson Dart had his Patriot moment like Eli had the Patriot moments. Like, you know how the Giant fan just relies on old reliable when it comes to stuff like this? I think the Giants are going to stunningly upset the Pats, who are way due for a loss, 31-27 on Monday Night Football, by having a very late into the night, last-minute touchdown from Jaxson Dart to Isaiah Hodgins to win the game. In the waning seconds, it's maybe 13 seconds left, not enough time for a team to go down there and kick a field goal. Giants win late, 31-27 in an absolute stunner that makes no sense. And I'm just also playing the Patriots are so overdue for a loss odd situation here in this too. And the Patriots flirted with it last week.
It would have made for a much more entertaining podcast if we disagreed on everything, but we agree on everything. I think
you agree they're going to win the game?
The Giants are going to win this game. When you look back at all the bullshit that's happened all season long, they're due. As a 2-10 team, the one game you're looking back at, oh, they won that game? They won that game? Is going to come against the 10-2 team. The team who got to 10 wins first. The team who was the best record in the NFL. This is just classic. This is how it's going to go down.
Giants-Patriots, for the Patriot fans all pissed off. Here are the Giants again.
On a Monday night, a long-ass weekend of football, everyone sat down and ate there. You stuffed their faces at Thanksgiving. They're looking forward to the Monday night game. All right, well, you're playing the Giants. They're going to take the Giants lightly, just like the Lions did last week. They're going to look at, well, we've won 10 games now. We're 10-2. We've got this amazing quarterback, which they do. They're a very well-rounded team. Their defense is solid. Their run defense is good. They've got all this confidence. I'm not sitting here and saying it's false confidence. They have a reason to feel good about themselves. They're 10-2. They are going to underrate this Giants team. She's been pretty good. Shaun, they should have a 7-5 record. If they didn't blow all of those leads that no one else blows, they'd be 7-5 right now. This team is playing a lot more. The Patriots are going to take them lightly. Obviously, they're just going to cover this. Like, of course, they're going to cover the spread if I have them winning. I have the Giants winning 29-23. I know it's a little specific with the 29 instead of the 30, 30 and 27. I think they win the game. I think it's a massive upset. And I think we're sitting here. We've been at this point. We've been at the point of like, all right, well, we're excited for next season because of what's coming and what we've seen. But this is going to be the real eye-opening, like awakening for us as Giants fans to the future of the organization, what this team could possibly be. Yeah. And I think that this is the start to something positive. And I do echo your sentiment that the Giants go out there after Shane Bowen was finally fired. And they play hard for Charlie Bowen. They play hard for him because, again, as you said, Shane Bowen's finally gone. And these guys are probably thrilled that the terrorist is gone.
It's terrorist. So here's where we're at. We're going to play a game deep into the night, Monday night. At some point, Tuesday, you will see a podcast from Bryce and I. And then that is likely, depending on Joe Shane's speaking schedule, to be the last pod of next week. Because it's at that point, it's Tuesday. And Bryce and I, we're going to wait for the Joe Shane scheduled bye week. And now that could come after it could come next Thursday, in which case we will do one and then we'll regroup and do another one in the bye week. This is my off-season typical thing I usually say, but it's because it's Thanksgiving week, Monday night game, bye week. This is why you download and subscribe to One Giant Step.
Here's the thing, Shaun. There's a lot of stuff going on within Giants world, all these reports, all this stuff that we need to make. Like, this is very intriguing. Like, it's not, this isn't some normal, the Giants are 5-6, whatever, they're in this,
anything can happen in the
purgatory.
Yeah.
he could say whatever. He hasn't spoken in months.
Right. And that's going to be a big podcast. So we're going to wait for that Shane stuff to come out, and we will do a podcast reacting to that. So again, we don't know when the hell that's going to be over the next 10 days. So download and subscribe. You're going to get your recap episode, and then we're going to get a Joe Shane, what the hell do you say at the bye week episode. Download and subscribe to One Giant Step everywhere podcasts are available. He's at Bryce Gelman from his childhood bedroom home. At Shaun Morash.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy your day.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Happy all of it. And we'll see you after a Monday night game.